Sidious and Maul are occupying themselves in various acts of depravity, utilizing the dark side of the Force to steal, rape, and amuse themselves. They are able to control other people's minds and destroy people merely because they insulted or angered them, or at some point in the past obstructed or frustrated them. Dooku is not inclined to participate in these matters, however. But after some time Palpatine grows tired of all of these games, which eventually fail to amuse him. He speaks with Maul and considers that he recognizes far more grand possibilities than he had hitherto considered with his new powers, and that gaining control over the Republic would be far less meaningful than absolute power over the entire galaxy. Dooku considers that although the Republic is relatively weak, there are others which are not, such as the Trade Federation and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. But Sidious thinks an alliance might be formed among all of them, and he has already promised expansion for the Trade Federation into the lands of the Republic, which will satisfy the intentions of their new leadership. The Trade Federation is talented but ineffective at making any progress, because they have rejected outright imperialism, but it is the threat they feel from other conglomerates which makes their leadership increasingly nervous. And he has worked out a secret agreement with the Trade Federation, so as to permit them to increase their realm by occupying his own world of Naboo. Dooku is taken aback by this bold move of his, but Sidious says that it along with its neighbor worlds will be occupied entirely legally through provisions, where the Republic permits the Trade Federation to intervene, as it has through its charter, during periods of need or emergency. Only that the Federation has never had the ability to hold its ground. But Sidious tells Dooku that the Trade Federation has been working on a secret project which could shift the balance of force away from the Republic and towards the Trade Federation. And Dooku is interested in this, but says he is taking an awful risk. Sidious tells him that they will be meeting with some agents of Nute Gunray soon. Dooku is surprised to find that Sidious has formed such a close alliance with the Trade Federation. Dooku and Sidious go to a secret location within the jurisdiction of the Trade Federation, into one of their disused construction facilities. Sidious has brought with him a small team of commandos, who he has employed for their superior fighting ability and reaction time. They enter into the large, vast building, and there are the representatives of the Trade Federation. And when they meet, Sidious tells them that each has brought what he agreed to bring. Then the Federation reveals their new creation, the battle droid, a 7-foot monster, with a heartless glare, expert at only one thing: killing their adversaries. Dooku, impressed with them, asks if they will be able to see a demonstration of their fighting ability, and Sidious says that this is why they are here. They supply these droids with weapons which are set to low power. The commandos, meanwhile, are permitted to outfit themselves with any weapons they choose. Then the trade representatives lead them all up into an observation room overlooking the space. The commandos at first shoot with their charged plasma guns, laser guns, and burst guns. But the robots have an inbuilt shield which glows blue, which absorbs any energy weapon, including their handheld guns, and a new burst laser gun, which is powerful, but is large and charges slowly. By now a couple of the commandos have been hit, and are no longer in the game, so the others continue by shooting bonding grenades and wrist rockets, but nothing works. The Trade Federation are satisfied to see their robots doing so well. Nothing is capable of defeating their droids. They say that they have thought of everything. Then the commandos speak together while two of them continue fighting. Then one of the commandos fires an adhesive grenade, and then another fires at it with his laser gun. The force shield activates, and then the grenade, stuck to its body, explodes within the force field. The force shield thereby acts to magnify the impact, and blows the robot to pieces. Then within 5 minutes all of the battle droids are lying in pieces on the floor, some of them still sparking and moving. The commandos who were hit by the droids' weapons are helped back onto their feet by the others. The Trade Federation representatives look surprised, not having foreseen such a thing, while Sidious and Dooku look very disappointed and go off to speak together in a conference room adjacent to the observation platform. Sidious now thinks that all of their plans are in ruins, that the robot is useless as a true weapon of war. And the Federation have been working years on this battle droid, he says with contempt. There are several problems with it which any army could exploit, and every one of them suffers from precisely the same defects. Dooku says if only they had a clone army of men, like those out there, and this makes Sidious think, and realize that he is correct. But Dooku says that no cloning operation would be capable of doing cloning on such a vast scale, and even if they could it would take 20 years before the army was ready. Sidious then tells him that there are cloners who have remained unhindered by the Republic, and are known to only a few. He mentions that the planet is Kamino, but Dooku has never heard of it, and Sidious tells him that the reason they are able to continue undetected is that they have been removed from the Republic's computer. As a result, they remain free to conduct cloning for people. But Dooku asks how this was done, and Sidious tells him that it was an act performed by their old friend Sifo-Dyas. He asks why a member of the Jedi Council would do such a thing, and Sidious says, why indeed. Dooku asks if the clone army wouldn't take too long to grow, but Sidious mentions that they have found a way of accelerating the growth of their clones, so that it would only take a few years. And they can also impart not only memories but skills, through a brain imprint. He says that it is not a perfect transfer, but sufficient given a certain degree of training afterwards. Sidious then goes to the Trade Federation, and tells them to begin full-scale production of their battle droid. They know that the cloners would not build a clone army for anyone but the Republic, so therefore it must become known to the Republic that a droid army is being assembled to threaten the Republic. He also tells them to start selling them as guardian robots, but with an activation signal which permits them to change their allegiance. The Trade Federation should go ahead with its plan to expand its influence and occupy planets through the use of its Neurobot army. And that as the Federation establishes itself that he will pursue his own line, and will eventually engage in the conflict, but right now tells them to proceed. Dooku agrees to the plan, and to meet with Sifo-Dyas at once.